Hello. So I wanted to address the idea of whether or not every santero, every Orisha is a priest. By extension, is every single babalao a priest? Is every single omoloanya a priest? And so, I'm going to make clarification so my argument, my opinion is clear. I'm going to say no, they're not. We are not. Not every single one of us. It can't be, right? Now, I'm using the English word priest to make this video. And so, outside of the context of Orisha, we have to take the word priest, right? We're using an English word, right? And then think, what in the past have we used the word priest to mean, right? A priest is usually a person who tends to, who is sort of an intermediary between the people and the divine. Okay, and usually that person gets this position through both a divine calling, through years of training, and through recognition. Okay, and so by that extension, oftentimes, oftentimes you'll see on the internet, and people like Walls will say, they were just initiated, and I am now a priest. I would prefer to think that now you have the potential. All right, you've taken the first step towards priesthood. My understanding of the word priest, and in every context that I've used that word outside of Orisha devotion, a priest has a very heavy connotation, right? If you call somebody a priest with no training, it puts you in a predicament in that you're using the word priest in a different way than any other English-speaking person uses it, right? I'll just use other examples, right? When somebody wants to become a Catholic priest, right, they'll go to seminary, right? And while they're in seminary, they may be a priest in training. They may potentially become a priest, but until they've completed their training and are ordained, they don't call themselves priests, right? You could be studying for a license, you could be studying for a degree until you've received the training and you've been advised by your instructor that you've completed that training, or at least a significant portion of that training. Then you can call yourself a priest. Okay? So and mind you, it's not, it's not so much a, thing of titles and who gets to walk around with a title. I'm pretty nonchalant about titles. I can care very little about them. What happens is that what I've seen is you get a santero not particularly trained, and they call themselves a priest, and then they're getting interviewed for newspaper articles. They're getting interviewed on TV shows, or maybe newscast snippets, interviewed in a magazine, and they're not making claims to being more than they're not, but they are using the word priest. And so we as practitioners, we kind of know that we all call ourselves priests from the offset, right? So we kind of get the idea. We know where this person's coming from, but it's sometimes it's strange when something they say may misrepresent what the general teachings are, or may not elaborate enough, or whatever. It becomes a sticky situation, in that for people who are not in the tradition, right, they're assuming that a priest, a person who's trained and authorized, has spoken, and that carries weight. So just be mindful before you use the English word priest or Spanish word sacerdote, right, to refer to yourself just be a little humble about it. A little bit of humility goes a long way. Know your audience. Make sure your audience understands that you may be using the word priest a little different from what they're used to understanding the word priest to mean. Be honest always about your level of training. Beginning, intermediate, advanced. I know we don't have levels like that. But be honest and always, like Edyomne teaches us, be humble.